So one of like the reasons that I learned the most about how loans worked or how banks work or how people could get financed or not was because in the beginning when I started real estate, most of these lenders, I was a new guy. And just how you were just talking about right now, like if you had a friend come and ask you for money that was always broke, you would probably be like, no, right? So when you jump into the real estate game, that's how they look at you. You never done a deal. So then you start sending them deals of what you think is a deal. And the lender, after 2 or 3 of you sending them that way, they're like, nah, this guy just sends me nothing but files that are never gonna get approved. So I would get really mad because I would send it to him and I'll be like, dude, I have a client right here, approve them and I'll go show them a house and I'll give them to escrow. They're motivated, they're ready. And I mean, I'm not trying to throw dirt or shade on any of these lenders, but I can't say it any other way. They wouldn't with me. So then what I did, I started learning more and more about the loan side. So if you're watching this video, this is how I do it. Number one, I would grab the client's income. Because in order for somebody to be able to approve for a loan, they need to show their income. Now, yes, there's non-QM products and all these other ways you can get approved. But if you're talking about paper documents, how to get them approved, number one, you're gonna grab their income. So this is what you do. You grab their hourly rate. So let's say somebody makes, for just the sake of this, $20 an hour. Then you're gonna multiply that by how many hours they work. Now it's important to know if they get paid weekly or bi-weekly. In this case, if they're getting paid weekly and they put in 40 hours, you're gonna do that a week, so that's $800 a week they make. It always goes based off their gross pay when you're talking about their hourly rate. So you're gonna multiply their income that they get paid weekly by 52 weeks because there's 52 weeks in 1 year. So then if you do that one, we're looking at 800 times 52. We're at 41,600. Now let's say if somebody got paid bi-weekly, right? Then it changes a little bit because you're gonna do, let's say if they were to work 80 hours and they got paid 20 times 80, it's $1,600. It would be 26 weeks, which is gonna give you the same amount. But you have to factor in how many hours they actually put in because some people will work 75, 76, so you gotta factor the math correctly. Now, once you grab the 41,600, once you grab their yearly pay, you're gonna divide it by 12. So in this case, 41,600 divided by 12 months is gonna give us a monthly income of $3,466 with 66 cents. Now from this, you're gonna subtract 55% because of the debt to income ratio the bank is gonna look at. Now you're looking at $1,560 a month. So if this person didn't have a cosigner, didn't have anybody else, this is how much money they can afford a month. So now in San Diego, that's way too low. You won't be able to buy anything. But let's say if this person, exactly the same scenario with the wife, the spouse, made exactly the same amount, they would be able to afford $3,000, $20 a month. This is the mortgage they would be able to afford. So what I started doing, if I noticed this was the income, I wouldn't even send it to the lender. I would have a conversation with the client and say, hey, is there anybody else that we can bring on the loan? Is there anybody else who'll co-sign for you? Does your girlfriend work, your wife work? Is there a brother, sister, somebody else that's gonna live with you? Then I would bring the documents and then I would send it to the lender. That way the lender says, hey, you know what, Carlos, you already kind of know what you're doing. Of course, I'll pay attention to your deal and then that way we can work it. So the more knowledge you have as a realtor, the better you can help your client. So those are one of the things that I had to learn the hard way, just because, again, I would get frustrated in the beginning and make sure that I met them and knew them the right way.